Alright guys, welcome back to another Opera Omnia video where we're going to be talking about Balthier, who is going to be receiving his rework and his brand new FR weapon. Not only that, but we also have Golbez, who is going to be getting a rework and his C90, and of course I'll briefly talk about Rem, who is going to be appearing on both of the upcoming banners. So, do let me know down in the comment section below what your plans are going to be for the upcoming banners. If you're going to be pulling for them, skipping them, whatever it is, do let me know. And of course, do let me know what you guys think overall of the upcoming changes for both of these two characters down in the comment section below. But with that being said, let's go ahead and jump right into it. So we'll first start off with Golbez with his skill 1 Rising Wave, which deals 2 HP dumps with Brave Potency increase and 50% splash damage. The plus version deals 2 HP dumps followed by another HP attack from the Shadow Dragon with Brave Potency increase and 50% splash damage. And then the Rising Wave Plus Plus deals 4 HP dumps, which 2 of those comes from the Shadow Dragon with a Brave Potency increase and 50% splash damage. Now his skill 2, Glare Hand, deals 2 HP dumps with Brave Potency increase. The plus version deals 2 HP dumps plus an additional HP attack from the Shadow Dragon with Brave Potency increase. And then the plus version deals 4 HP dumps, which 2 of those attacks come from the Shadow Dragon. Now his LD deals 7 HP dumps with a Brave Potency increase and allows for 200% stolen max Brave overflow. When the Shadow Dragon buff stacks is at 3 and dealing weakness damage increases the stolen Brave damage up by 60%. Now his EX now deals 6 HP dumps with Brave Potency increase that deals full HP damage. It increases the EX recast speed by 15% and extends the Atonement for Hatred buff to 6 turns. Now his C65 got extended to 6 turns and adds a 20% attack up and a 40% Brave damage cap up. Now with Balthier, his skill 1 now has an 80% chance of stealing 3 buffs from the target. It deals 2 HP dumps that recovers Brave after the first HP attack and deals 50% splash damage. The plus version deals 3 HP dumps that recovers 20% Brave in between HP attacks and deals 50% splash. His skill 2 increases Brave by 100% of attack before current Brave increase. Increases Brave gain to 90% of current Brave that allows for 120% gained max Brave overflow. It deals 1 HP attack followed by 2 more HP dumps that recovers 20% Brave in between HP attacks. The plus version increases Brave by 90% of current Brave, 120% gained max Brave overflow is allowed, and then it deals 4 HP dumps in total. Now his LD deals 6 HP dumps with Brave Potency increase. His EX now increases EX recast gauge speed by 15% and now deals 4 HP dumps that allows for 180% stolen max Brave overflow and increases the stolen buffs to 3 from all targets. With Sid as his partner, Balthier's FR cleanses all debuffs from the party, steals 3 from all targets, extends any stolen buff duration by 1 turn, and then deals 3 HP dumps that deal split HP damage, and it does have instant turn rate. Now his FR conditions are as follows: a 40% increase whenever the party member attacks an enemy with no buffs, a 20% increase whenever the party member selects a ranged ability, and an 80% increase whenever a party member dispels a buff once per turn. So let's talk about these characters, and I'm gonna give you guys my honest opinions on them and if they are worth pulling for in the upcoming banners. So we're gonna start off with the biggest prize, which is going to be Balthier with his FR and whatnot. Now, the first note that I put on here is that he steals buffs that can be a pro and a con at the same time. So the pro is if the enemy does have a buff that is actually like a pretty strong buff, like let's say like it provides you with like HP regen, maybe it gives you a higher attack stat, maybe it gives you some Brave regen, or maybe it might even reduce the amount of damage that is incoming to you, then it could definitely be a good thing for Balthier. The con about that though is that if they do have multiple buffs, and if you're trying to aim for like 1 or 2 buffs, then you know, depending on how many buffs you got currently active and depending on which one you will actually get and how they are in the buff order, then you know, there could be a chance that you might actually not get what it is that you want. But regardless though, the good thing about like Balthier is that even if you're not really focused on that, the fact that you are able to dispel enemy buffs is a fantastic thing. It's great to have. I mean, there are other characters that do have the ability. There is a sphere, which is the Vanille sphere, which, you know, many in the community know about, that, you know, if you put it on like certain characters, like let's say Owen, who is able to dispel a buff whenever he breaks a target, then with his counterattacks you do have a higher chance of doing that. So having another option or another character that is able to dispel is actually not a bad thing. The other thing is going to be average party auras, and it's mostly from his overhead. I mean, his auras, that not really anything to brag about. It's just like brave damage up, HP damage up, you know, just like little stuff here and there. So it's not anything like too crazy or something to brag about. Really, it's just, you know, additional party auras that will stack on top of whatever support it is that you got going on, or whatever like BT effect you have active. So it's nothing too crazy. Now his FR though, his FR is more so for situational fights, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to link a video down in the description, and this is Balthier before he got his BT and whatnot. This was actually the first fight, if I'm not mistaken, where FR Echo was introduced in JP, because the boss, which was the Behemoth, it would constantly buff itself for whatever buff it is that it would grant to itself. And so I decided to take Balthier into that fight, and Balthier straight up destroyed it. And remember, with Balthier's FR conditions, if they do have a buff, and if you're able to dispel said buff, or in this case for Balthier, steal it, then guess what? That's an easy 80% on top of whichever of the other two FR conditions you actually meet. So it can easily go above 100%. But at the same time though, not every boss that you encounter or every fight that you encounter is going to have bosses who will buff themselves. So that's why I say that Balthier is a situational type of character, especially now that he is about to get his FR weapon. And then of course he now has stronger damage with his rework and whatnot, which is great. He needed that for quite a while now, and especially now that he has his FR, you want to make sure that you use his highest damaging moves while his force is active. So like overall though, like Balthier is not a bad character whatsoever. I mean, if you're needing a dispeller, Balthier is a solid option in my opinion. He does what he needs to do, which is to dispel in a way of him stealing buffs. And then like if you are actually focused on using his FR, like the HP damage bonus percentage can definitely go high. It can go pretty high, but again, his like overall kit now with his FR is more so situational. So it just depends, like if you are wanting to, you know, get a character and, you know, use a character for certain situational fights where if the boss does buff themselves and if they do it consistently, then Balthier will straight up murder said fight. And thankfully though, Balthier has no element attached to him, and with the upcoming, now that we are into the whole elemental lockout fights, you know, it won't be an issue for Balthier. So like, is he worth pulling for now, or is he worth pulling for later down the line when he gets his BT? Because his BT is actually a pretty solid BT overall, with the party auras, the follow-up that he gets, and now any buffs that he steals actually goes towards the party. So just imagine the possibilities with that. It makes him such a stronger, even though he's still a bit situational, but I still feel like it makes him such a stronger candidate to put in your team comp. So I would say if you want to have like a different character that you normally would not use from, like, let's say like your typical team type of setups and whatnot, then Balthier is not a bad choice in my opinion. I didn't regret pulling for his FR the first time, and like I straight up destroyed the fight, which again, watch that video, you'll see why. Like I am pretty like I'm right behind with pulling for Balthier. But again, it just depends on like, well, you know, like if you want to take your if you want to pull for a situational type of character like Balthier, and of course your resources and whatnot, and what you're planning to pull for later down the line. But overall though, I would think he would be at most right now worth you throwing some tickets at his banner, but later down the line when he gets his BT, I feel like the banner is a much higher value. Now for Golbez, the rework and everything that he got overall was definitely in need for quite a while now, because like that is one of like the biggest things about his overall kit. It was the amount of HP dumps like was lacking really bad, and thankfully with the rework that he got, it's definitely going to help him out, especially while you have a character's force ability active, because his EX and his LD are his most damaging skills. And if you were to take the Bahamut summon, which remember does give you 3 uses of his a character's EX right there and then yeah, you can definitely dish out some very hefty damage with Golbez's EX ability while a force is active. So that, you know, that's something to look at in terms of damage. So that's why the first note that I have for him is that he is finally Swobez, because he finally got the rework that he has been needing for a while now. He does have Dark Element attached to his kit, and the reason why I put that is the elemental lockouts and whatnot, so that's something to consider when looking at his kit. When it comes to his BT is more so focused on increasing the Brave damage and increasing the Brave damage cap up. He does have Stolen Max Brave Overflow in it. He does increase attack as well, and the other thing which affects the enemies is that the enemies cannot gain Brave whatsoever, which can actually be pretty convenient in certain situations where you don't want the enemy to gain like a crap ton of Brave. Then having his BT effect active, you know, it's not a bad thing. The only thing about his BT though is the fact that his BT is very short. It only lasts for 4 turns. So hopefully now that they are doing BT reworks in the future, they hopefully they are able to extend that a little bit longer, because in my opinion, and especially now in current JP, like I feel like it is a little bit too short. It needs to be a little bit higher at this point. But like overall though, like he doesn't have any HP damage cap within his kit or anything like that, or any HP damage up, so that's something to consider right there. And then whenever you are thinking about pairing him up with like teammates and whatnot, you definitely want to give him HP damage cap up or HP damage up in general to help him in capping out in his HP damage. Pairing him up with a Brave Gains character will definitely help him out in between those HP attacks, especially with his EX and his LD ability. You want to make sure that you, and especially during Force, you want to make sure that you get as much damage as possible out of Golbez. So overall though, like Golbez, he is much stronger now with his rework and whatnot. In my opinion though, I feel like he is another character that he is a bit situational, especially with the Dark Element. It just seems like we don't really use too much Dark Element type users like that, and I don't know what's the deal with that. I don't know, maybe it's just me that I don't really use Dark Element characters like that. But like Golbez, he can have his uses for sure, and if you pair him up with the right support and whatnot, he can definitely you know, do some numbers. And like the tip that I mentioned earlier with the whole you know, using him during Force, Bahamut summon and all that good stuff, like you can definitely get a good amount out of Golbez. But in my opinion, I feel like, and especially with a lot of the characters that are coming up next month, I feel like Golbez, you could probably hold off for any newer player and for any current player who did pull for his kit. Really, I mean, you're pretty much going to be getting a free upgrade, but other than that, I would say like Golbez, you could probably hold off unless you want to take advantage of some of the stuff that I have mentioned about him. And finally with Rem, Rem is a pretty solid support character still in my opinion. Now that she is going to be getting force enhancements, she can easily charge up the gauge with her skill 1 and skill 2. But to keep it short, she is able to heal, she is able to break battery the party, she is able to turn swap with one of her teammates. So I think she's an overall pretty solid support. If you do manage to get her LD, I would say you can build up her LD so you can get access to the LD card, because it does provide some pretty good party auras in my opinion, like Brave Gains and HP damage up for the party. So that's something to consider when looking at Rem. But overall though, I would say again, just depending on how your resources are looking, and if you are wanting these situational type of characters, or really between Balthier and Golbez, I would say Balthier is definitely worth picking up if you're wanting to play with somebody a little bit different with a different type of FR ability. If not, then you can easily wait for his BT release later down the line, where you can get both weapons. So but overall though guys, that's gonna be it for the video. Let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below, and of course if you guys enjoy it, like, subscribe, do all that good stuff. Thank you so much for watching. I'll catch you guys in the next one.